I've been having a ton of fun doing these sketchbook session style videos because it's very laid back and just very easy for me to do and like low pressure. I just do any kind of art that I want to do. How it turns out doesn't really matter, so I've been having so much fun doing those, so I figured I would do that for this week's video. And then I didn't really know what to talk about for this video because I didn't have any topics on hand, so I decided to do a pretty casual Q&A. So I asked you guys on my YouTube community tab and Instagram just questions that you'd like to hear me answer or like anything like that, and like always you guys had wonderful questions, so thank you so much if you asked me anything. I'm not going to answer everything, I just kind of picked and choose answers because I know I can talk forever and it would get pretty lengthy if I answered all of them, so I'm sorry if I did not answer your question, but you guys sent in so many good questions, so thank you so much. But let's jump right into that because I am very excited to answer all these guys for you. What is your advice for beginner artists? Any anime recommendations, book recs? Do you listen to K-pop? So advice for beginner artists is really just to have fun with it. Like, don't worry about making what you would consider good art or comparing yourself to other artists, because it's really easy to draw something and then look at someone else who draws and be like, wow, why is their art so much better? When it's really hard to like be like, oh, it's because they have a decade, 2 decades of experience more than you do in drawing it, because a lot of people boil art down to having talent. And talent is something that you kind of naturally get versus skill is something that you build up over time. Everyone who does art, their experience is skill, not talent. They've been working on that for years and years and years. So don't beat yourself up over if your skills aren't where you want them to be based off of how other people's art are. Just have fun with it and enjoy the creation process and just be happy making art, because making art's really fun. So for anime recommendations or book recommendations, anime, I recently read and watched Demon Slayer. Absolutely amazing. It's kind of, the anime itself is kind of slow at the beginning, so like for me personally, I didn't like get into it until like halfway through the first season, but it's really good. Book recommendations, I really don't read a ton, which I'm kind of sad about. I've been reading manga lately because I read all of The Promised Neverland and then I read all of Demon Slayer, but like I really haven't read books lately. And then, do you listen to K-pop? I do not actually. I've heard probably like 2 or 3 K-pop songs in my entire life, so I don't listen to K-pop. Would you consider making an art zine in the future, or any other merchandise like acrylic keychains, bookmarks, washi tape? Yes, definitely. Specifically, I really want to make art zines of like sketchbook work, but that's going to be a little bit, I don't know when, but I definitely want to do that in the future. I would like to do other stuff like acrylic charms and bookmarks and washi tape and like wooden pins, I think would be really fun, or enamel pins, but things like that are definitely going to be a ways down the line, just because things like stickers and prints, it's much less of an investment because I'm making them at home, so I can buy things in small quantities and like I only have to print out 5 of a design versus getting stuff manufactured. You generally want to get a lot of it made because it's cheaper the more you get made. So it's just a really big financial investment to drop on something like that. And especially for my like experience with my store, which it did really well, like the first month especially, it did really well. But like, I don't know how much money I'd make off of it. And I don't know if I'd get my money back. So definitely something that I would like to do in the future. But the only thing that I could see myself doing in the near future is art zines. Everything else will be really pushed off. What kind of music are you into lately? How is the music you like now different from music you liked as a kid or teenager? I don't listen to a ton of music anymore. I watch a lot of movies instead, like when I'm working on art and stuff, but I do listen to music. 21 Pilots is my favorite band, and so I'm really excited for their new album. I'm so excited for their new album. I've been listening to the new Demi Lovato album too, which is absolutely amazing, but my music that I listen to is a pretty weird mixture of stuff, but as far as how different it is from the music I liked as a kid or a teenager, I would say that it's like fairly similar, except now I've branched off in like, when I was younger, I used to just pretty much primarily listen to the radio, and then eventually I got like an MP3 player and I got music on that, but like most of what I listened to was stuff that was on the radio, and now I don't listen to the radio at all. I listen to CDs when I'm driving and stuff like that. So I guess it really went from like a very like generalized popular pop music to more like personalized, I like this artist, so I listen to all of their music sort of thing. But as far as like the genres go, I had like an edgier phase where I was really into bands like Pierce the Veil or Sleeping with Sirens. So that was my like edgier phase. I still do like their music though, like I still really like their music, but I think it's changed a good amount, but not a ton from how I like listen to music as a kid or a teenager. What's your favorite anime of all time, and do you play Animal Crossing New Horizons? Fruits Basket is my absolute favorite anime. I love it so much. And then yes, I play Animal Crossing New Horizons. I got super burnt out on it in the first like, I want to say like 4 or 5 months of playing the game, because I'd play it every single day, and then it really got to the point where it felt like a chore to play the game instead of having fun, because every single like new day I'd start, I'd have to pull all the weeds, I'd have to talk to all the villagers, I'd have to go to the shop, I'd have to do all my chores, and it just became less fun and I got burnt out, and I have not really touched it since. Are there any specific sketchbooks or media that you like most, and in which media do you think that you are most skilled in? As far as sketchbooks go, I really can't like distinctly remember one that I had the most fun working in / I liked the most. I like the size of square sketchbooks, but like I haven't really found one that has paper that I really like in it, so I'm still definitely trying to find the perfect sketchbook for me. And then as far as medias go, I think I would say I'm the most skilled when it comes to watercolors. I have a lot of experience with it. I think I also am really good with working with alcohol markers too, because I had a very long alcohol marker phase where that was like my primary medium. But I would say watercolors and alcohol markers are what I am most skilled with. What are the items you use to make prints in your shop? So I make all of my prints that are currently listed in my shop from home. So the paper I use, it's like a Staples paper. It's marketed as their heavyweight paper, and I just print it on my printer. It's like a Canon TS9120, I want to say is what it is, but it's a pretty easy process for me. I just print from home, so just my normal office printer and then fancier paper that I got off of Amazon. Do you ever feel pressure to post good art on social media platforms? Absolutely. I try not to get in the headspace of it, of like, a lot of times, like when I'm editing a picture, I'm like, oh gosh, this is not good enough to post on Instagram and stuff like that. But I've been trying to be a lot more laid back about it. And also when it comes to like Instagram specifically, I am so chaotic in my posting schedules. Sometimes I'll post like a picture a day for like a week, and then I won't post for a month. So it's a little rough as far as Instagram goes. I've been getting a lot more laid back when it comes to YouTube videos. Like, I am trying not to hold myself up to a standard where I need to have a certain quality of art to post for videos. I'm trying to be a lot more laid back about it and just be a human being who doesn't do everything exactly perfectly how I want to. So yeah, there's definitely pressure when it comes to posting air quotes good art to social media, but I'm trying to not really get in a headspace about that one. And then I got the questions, what's your favorite kind of drink? And then coffee or tea? And actually, my favorite thing to drink is water. I know it's weird, but I didn't drink soda for a really long time because I didn't like the way it tastes, and now carbonation hurts my stomach. So first of all, like soda, and now energy drinks are like pretty much out of the question because they upset my stomach. I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't drink milk. I drink almond milk though. But yeah, no, I really like water. I like the way water tastes. It's my favorite drink. If I'm thirsty, I want water. What's your favorite plant out of the ones you currently have? I'll throw in a picture. It's my variegated Maranta. She's absolutely gorgeous, and she's so happy, and she's so beautiful. She recently flowered for me, which was super exciting because I didn't think the standards of like living in my house would get her to flower, but she was so happy, and she's such a gorgeous plant. She's my absolute favorite. What's your dream plant? I definitely have like a lot of plants I want, and recently I've been getting some of my dream plants because, I mean, they're not like super like, oh, I've wanted this for years, because I've only really been into plants for 6 months, but like yesterday I got a lemon lime Maranta, which I have been yearning for because I love Marantas so much. But I would say like biggest dream plant is probably going to be like a variegated Monstera, but I don't want to get that for a really long time. One, because they are so overpriced. They are insanely expensive because they're like a collector plant, which is a little stupid, but they're really expensive. But they're also super pretty. I would say that that's what I want the most. There's like some alocasias that I want, like I want a silver dragon alocasia and I want a dragon scale alocasia. Those are still also expensive, but those are like a reasonable price. So probably like something like that. I'm very like satisfied with the plants I have. I also have a ton of plants now. So I don't think there's anything that I'm like desperately trying to get a hold of, but I would definitely like to get a variegated monster in the future. What's a medium you want to try? Also, what's your least and favorite medium to use? A medium that I really want to try is acrylic gouache. I think it's Holbein is the brand that does like the popular acrylic gouache, but I really wanted to try it. It's just really expensive, so I have not started getting into that medium, because generally for me, like when I want to get into something, I just buy like a few colors and establish a small color palette of like around 5 colors, and then I go a little crazy and I want like 20 more. So I really don't want to drop like several $100s on acrylic gouache anytime in the near future. So we're just waiting for one day when I do. And then as far as my least and favorite medium to use, I would say the least favorite medium is pastels because they're awful. Also acrylics, I don't really like either of those. My favorite medium is definitely watercolors. I absolutely love using watercolors. Favorite flower and least thing to draw. My favorite flower is a peony. I love them so much. They're so, so pretty. And then my least favorite thing to draw would probably be, you're probably looking for like a specific kind of subject, but I would have to say commissions. I really don't like drawing commissions. They stress me out. They make me sad. I get really perfectionist about it, and it's just too much for me. Who is your favorite Demon Slayer character? I actually got this question a couple times, which is really cute. And my favorite character is Inosuke, which, like, going into the series, I did not expect for him to be my favorite character, but I absolutely love him. Like, he's amazing. I love him. And then, like, as far as the Hashira go, I don't know. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite because definitely in the beginning I had favorites, but then towards the end of the series, as far as the manga goes, when you got backstory on all of them, I love all of them. So definitely my favorite is Inosuke. I don't know beyond that what my other favorites would be. What's your favorite brand of watercolors? Definitely M-Grams and Daniel Smith's. If I had to choose one, I would probably say M-Gram because they reactivate really well versus some of the Daniel Smith colors, you really have to work for it to get them to reactivate. But the nice thing about Daniel Smith is they have some really gorgeous granulating colors, so definitely the mixture of those two is what I use to build my palette, and I'm really happy with it. How do you know when your art is good enough to turn into prints and stickers? This is definitely a tricky question because I don't think there's one specific point as a generalized sense of like everyone's art journey where, oh, now it's good enough to turn into prints and stickers. I would say it's just like when you're happy with where your art is at. If you like where your art is at, then turn it into prints and stickers. Just go for it. It's really hard because you need to have some kind of following unless you're working off of Etsy. But even then, like having some kind of social media following is really beneficial in actually getting sales. But as far as like the point at which you sell your art, I would just say as long as you're happy with it, go for it. When did you start drawing, and could we see some childhood art pieces? Yes, I started drawing when I was very, very young. I'll throw up some pictures on the screen. I also want to do a video in the near future of me just going through all my old sketchbooks because I have sketchbooks back from when I was like, I want to say like 8 to 10 years old, and then from where that is to now, and I'm 22 now, so I have over a decade of sketchbooks, and I really want to show them, and you guys experience the absolute cringe that is my old sketchbooks and like all the angsty art and moody art and all that fun stuff. What are some good ways to make some extra cash as a beginner artist? Definitely commissions, which is sad because I personally hate doing commissions. As I said, they really stress me out. But commissions are a really good way to make money as a beginner artist because as much, like, I definitely don't recommend you, like, putting your heart and soul into this, but, like, if you find out a certain look or aesthetic or, like, subject that's popular and then offer your commissions based off of that, like, for example, I really wanted to get into doing pet portraits because I thought they were popular, which I think they are, and I could make money off of that, like, pet portrait commissions of, like, painting people's animals, or, like, I don't know, some kind of style where it's, like, cute girls, or, like, turning people into anime characters from a certain universe. Like, that stuff would be really popular. And it's just, like, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, you should do commissions when I hate doing commissions, but honestly, that's probably the best way to earn money as a beginner artist. I know you only recently opened your online store. How's it going? Is it doing better or worse than you thought? This is a really fun question. I would actually, in the future, like to make a video about this, maybe like 6 months to 12 months into opening an online store, because I'm very personally open about talking about like finances and how much money I'm making. It's not like a taboo subject to me, so I don't want anyone to like take it as me bragging or anything like that, but I'm very open to sharing how much money I made on my online store. I'll probably just do that for its own individual video, but my first month went so insanely amazing. Like, I cannot put into words how well my first month went. It went so well. I was so blown away. It was really like, I surprisingly wasn't super stressed about opening my online store. I was just excited, but like, I had no idea how it would go. I didn't know if I was gonna sell like one thing, if I was gonna sell like 50 things, and it just went super, super well. So I'll definitely make a video talking about that in the future, like a video solely dedicated to the subject of me opening an online store and my experience, because I've said it before, but like opening an online store, the concept of it is very stressful because there's so much stuff to go into it. You need to find a platform to sell your stuff on, you need to photograph all of your like merch and stuff, you need to figure out a quantity for all of those, you need to price everything, all that kind of jazz. So definitely something that would take me a long time to talk about, but I would like to make a video on that in the future. As far as, like I said, my online store went very, very well. So thank you so much to everyone who bought something from it. I do plan on doing a store update next month where I'll have new merch on there, but I'll get there when I get there. I'll talk more about that later. But that's it for the questions I'm going to answer today, because we are getting a little bit on the lengthy side as far as this video goes. So thank you so much to everyone who asked me questions. It's always really fun doing these little Q&As because I feel like I'm interacting with you guys in a certain way, and it's very fun. I also get to talk about myself in things that you asked for, so I enjoy that too. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.